dear. So let me take you to limited edition alpha and the A to Z of singles. A to Z of singles. Let's see what that's talking about. So, here's the question. Can you find a card beginning with each letter of the alphabet in limited edition alpha that only has a single word as the name? Now, I've put A to L there. There's another whole screen's worth of M to Z. So, can you get from A to Z with just single words? So, for example, you can't have for A, you couldn't have Armageddon clock, because that's two words. And you couldn't have clock, because that doesn't begin with A. Maybe you could have Armageddon. Just a thought. So have a go. You've got about 2.5 minutes to find as many single word letters from limited edition alpha as you can. And after that we will head to our big finish. We'll give you the pun round, and then it'll be time for the undisputed Magic the Gathering Trivia Championship of the World, Episode 1. I'll see you in just a minute, here on Downtime. Okay then, so can you find a card beginning with each letter of the alphabet in limited edition alpha that only has a single word as the name? The answer is you can't, because several of the letters don't have such a thing. But let's find out what ones do. Still to come, the pun round, and then the Ultimate Magic the Gathering Trivia Championship of the World, and the very last thing is something called Last Laugh. That's something I'm really looking forward to. Right, so here we go. Let's see. We begin with A. I mentioned Armageddon clock as something you couldn't have because it had two words. There was a bit of a hint there because Armageddon is something that you can have. So what about B? I said you'd be berserk if you missed out on these. Well, you could have had berserk, but you could also have had multiple lands, Badlands and Bayou. Balance, one of the most powerful cards. Blessing, not so much. Then Burrowing Brain there we see. So plenty of Bs. What about C? Let's see how people did. Yeah, well, a million of them. Camouflage, I don't actually know what that does. Castle, that was +0, +2 to things. Channel, 1/2 of Channel Fireball. Chaos Lace, sure. Clone. Cockatrice, was that 2/4, I think? Conservator? Conservator? I don't even know how. I actually don't know how to pronounce that. Conversion, counterspell, yes, and crusade. I once counted the knights on crusade, while my opponent resolved yet another Gaia's blessing. Yes, it was very entertaining. Gerard's wisdom, Gaia's blessing. Yawn. All right, on to the D's. Is there a D we can choose? Plenty. Because if you can have Chaos Lace, you can have Death Lace. You can also have Death Grip, Dark Pact, Disintegrate, which I loved. That was one of my favourite cards from 6th edition, which is when I started playing, and Disenchant. So E, do we have an E? We do. We have Earthbind and Earthquake. D has no one, right? It actually does. Only the 5 of them then. Good try though, Sophus. Curses. Earthbind and Earthquake. So F. Let's see what we got. So this is just crazy. Remember, these aren't all the cards beginning with F. These are all the single word cards beginning with F. Now, obviously, it's a good bet you should have got F, an I, an M, and P, and whatever the black one begins with, S. Because basic lands. Farmstead, Fast Bond, Fear, Feedback, Fireball, Fire Breathing, Flash Fires, Flight, Flop, can't say that as a tongue twister. Fungasaur. That was this really weird kind of thing. Pretty sure. Don't worry, Zazimash. We're all having fun here. And these are actually hard. That's the history of the game right here. Let's see what G we have. There's only one, and it's Gloom. How about H? Hurricane is the only one. I would have thought that I might have been difficult, but it turns out you've got Island, and you've also got Invisibility, though most people don't see that one. J, Juggernaut and Jump. That sounds like a sort of 40 swing thing. And now it's time for the Juggernaut Jump. Let's go on to K. Yes, we can have that. Karma and Kudzu. Karma was the anti-black spell. Is that right? Something punishing you for having swamps, I think. And then L. Plenty. Lance, Lich, Life Force, Life Lance, Life Tap, and Lure. So far, we've completed it. We've got A2L, no problem. But as we go into the next lot, you're going to find we can't actually fit everything in. So let's take a look. M is fine. Mana Barbs, Meekstone. And as I say, it's another basic land type. So we get Mountain. Then on we go again. We have N for Nightmare. My head is in the way. No, it isn't. N is for Nightmare. On we go. No O. That's the first letter. You cannot find a single word card beginning with that letter. There may be others, like probably Order of Lightbearer or something. Maybe is that in Alpha? I don't know. Paralyzed, Pestilence, Plains, Plateau, and Pure Lace. I am guessing there is no Q. There is no Q. Plenty of R's, Regeneration, Regrowth, Resurrection, and Righteousness. On we go again. S has tons and tons, including Swamp, which we mentioned. Sinkhole, what a beating that was. And Stasis. Evan Irwin, I love Evan. One of my favourite things he ever did was repeat Mike Turian saying, pay a blue, pay a blue, pay a blue. Fantastic bit of editing. And Stasis. What's not to like about Stasis? It's so much no fun in one package. I love it. That's S. What about T? I'm sure we've got some T's. We have Plenty, Tiger, Terror, Thought Lace, Time Twister, Tranquility, Tsunami, Tundra, Tunnel, and Twiddle. Unsummoned for you? Let's see. Correct. I actually got one right. And now we're probably getting quite tricky. Let's see what we've got next. No V. There were 3 W's, but no X, Y, or Z, as you like to call them. Christmas joke for you. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Noel, Noel. You're welcome. Moving on. Welcome back. That was the A to Z of Alpha